Hi guys, it's Akmon here. Welcome to my 7.2 Balanced Druid Duel guide. And in this guide we're gonna talk quickly about what the duels in the Legion are about, the talent and honor talent choices for the Boomkin, and then I'm gonna show you some examples of the games of the duels and comment a little bit over them. So let's get to it. Let's start from the honor talents. In the honor talents, I think the best choices are the Gladiator's Medallion, Mind Quickness, Iron Feather Armor or Celestial Guardian. Then we go for the Eclipse or Crescent Burn, but I will stick to the Eclipse like 90% of the times. I don't think any of these two are better. Then we go for the Moonkin Aura, that's a 100. And then it's really up to you what you wanna play. For sure, you don't want to pick the Fairy Swarm versus casters. You would pick it versus the melee. Deep Root is good versus pretty much everything beside the Druid, and the Cyclone might be used once or twice in a duel, because we don't really have that much time to cast CCs in a duel. Now I'm gonna go to the talent choices. In here we got the Warrior of Elune, which grants us instant strikes. Then we pick the Renewal or Displacer Beast. Displacer Beast might be better versus melee classes, but most of the time I would stick to the Renewal. Next one are the Guardian Affinity or Restoration Affinity. We don't really have that much time to cast heals in a duels, so we might pick the Restoration Affinity just to quickly swiftmend ourselves and go back to the Moonkin form. The Guardian Affinity might be used versus the classes with stealth, because then we wanna start in the bear form. The next one is pretty much Mighty Bash or the Mass Entanglement. Mass Entanglement is the instant root, and Mighty Bash is a stun which has melee range. So it's up to you which one of these you found more useful, but I stick most of the time to the Mighty Bash. Next one is the Incarnation, and we want to pick Incarnation because it has a synergy with Eclipse, and when we pop our Incarnation we got the 70% reduction in silence and interrupts around us in a small beam around us for 10 seconds. It's a huge and important thing actually. Next one we get the Astral Communion to get this free Star Surge. Pretty much one free Star Surge, might be two if we got already this 5 Astral Power from other source. The last one probably might be Fury of Elune, but pretty much I don't take a use of any of these talents in the duel, so I stick to the Stellar Drift. I have no footage of the Fury of Elune duels, might do it in the future, so watch out over it. And to put some more description onto the honor talents, also the Train of Thought might be a choice because we want to start the duel in the stealth, so we may have some use of the damage increase from it. I think that's it for the honor talents and talents. Now I'm gonna quickly talk about what the duels in the Legion are about. The duels in the Legion are actually about mostly who bursts the enemy first. So we pretty much want to do as much damage in as short period of time as possible to the enemy. There isn't really much room to do CC or healing. So most of the times we just wanna pop our cooldowns and go full, and just swifty the enemy, if you know what I mean. Just do as much damage as we can, but watch out for the enemy classes walls. That would be a dispersion for the priest, or the like bark skin for a druid, but bark skin isn't really that big of a thing because it reduces the damage taken by only 20%. So that's actually the big thing about why balanced druids aren't good in duels and 1v1 scenarios, because most of the classes have like some kind of defense cooldown, and we only got this bark skin and we want to use it as soon as we start getting damage. The duels most of the times last like 15 seconds or something like this most of the time, so it will cover up most of the duel if we pop it as soon as we start taking damage. We don't want to save it pretty much, we just want to pop it. Enemy class will probably use their wall on our full moon or star surges, so try to not full moon into the wall. But actually full moon into the wall, because it will be a waste of time if you interrupt it. Most of the times you may not want to full moon into the immunes or dispersion with the talent that gives additional damage reduction, because then our full moon doesn't deal any damage. So yeah, now let's get to the versus melee classes. We want to start the round. Start most likely with the roots, or maybe a damage spell, but better the casted one like New Moon, not the dots, because when you deal damage to somebody it pops as their target, and without dealing the damage, when the spell is flying they still don't have targeted you, so they are not really aware that you are unprowled if they are not watching carefully. Versus the casters, you may want to start also with the prowl and then root beam them, or just start with some CC maybe to pop their trinket. We may come to them with the bash out of the prowl into cooldowns and just pop and try to kill them before they kill us. And that's it for this. I'm leaving you guys with some additional duels, and check out my YouTube and my stream. In the next videos I hope there will be some quality trees, so see ya.
I need to target something.